This paper was published in Ocean Science. It explores topics such as Fram Strait, deep water, warming, GSDW, Greenland Sea Deep Water, and EBDW, Eurasian Basin Deep Water. Let's first hear a simple explanation.
Is the deep water in the Fram Strait getting warmer? The Fram Strait is like the only big door that connects the Arctic Ocean to the rest of the world's oceans. Deep water means water far below the surface, about 500 meters down, which is deeper than Mount Everest is tall. Scientists put instruments on long ropes called moorings to watch the deep water over many years. There are two kinds of deep water nearby: Greenland Sea Deep Water, GSDW, and Eurasian Basin Deep Water, EBDW. Think of them as two batches of soup coming through the door at different times. Normally, one batch can be cooler and act like a cold sponge, a heat sink, that soaks up heat, while a warmer batch acts like a heater, a heat source. Scientists studied measurements from two moorings in the Fram Strait from 2010 to 2023, and also looked at older measurements from the 1980s. They found that the Eurasian Basin Deep Water, EBDW, warmed a little, about 0.1 degrees Celsius, since the 1980s. But the Greenland Sea Deep Water, GSDW, warmed more, about 0.4 to 0.5 degrees Celsius. At one site, F11, GSDW is more common in summer and EBDW in winter. Because GSDW warmed faster, it became warmer than EBDW around 2017-2018. That means the Greenland Sea now gives off heat to the deep Arctic instead of taking it in, and the Eurasian Basin Deep Water might warm faster in coming years. Even small temperature changes deep in the ocean matter a lot. It's like a slight fever in Earth's slow-moving parts. If deep water that used to be a cold sponge becomes a heater, it can send more warmth into the Arctic from below. That extra heat can affect sea ice, marine animals that live in cold, deep water, and ocean circulation that helps control climate. Watching these changes is important so we can understand and prepare for future impacts on the Arctic and the planet.
Ready for the next level? Here comes the science explained with real research terms.
Is the deep water under the Fram Strait getting warmer? The Fram Strait is a narrow, deep passage between Greenland and Svalbard that acts like a doorway between the Arctic Ocean and the rest of the world ocean. Deep water there, around 500 meters down, moves slowly and stores heat for a long time. So changes are important even if they seem small. Scientists talk about different water masses. For this study, the Greenland Sea Deep Water, GSDW, and the Eurasian Basin Deep Water, EBDW, which are like two different batches of water with their own temperatures and origins. Researchers use moorings, anchored instruments, and ship profiles to measure temperature over many years to spot long-term trends. Using measurements from two long-term moorings, 2010 to 2023, and older profiles from the 1980s, the study found that deep water in the Fram Strait is warming. The Eurasian Basin Deep Water warmed modestly by about 0.1 degrees Celsius since the 1980s, while the Greenland Sea Deep Water warmed much more, by about 0.4 to 0.5 degrees Celsius. At one mooring, F11, there is a seasonal swap, more GSDW in summer and more EBDW in winter. Because GSDW warmed faster, it became warmer than EBDW around 2017-2018, meaning the Greenland Sea stopped acting as a deep cold sink and became a source of heat instead. Even small temperature changes in very large volumes of deep water matter because the deep ocean stores and transports heat for decades to centuries, like a giant thermal battery. If the Greenland Sea now adds heat to the Arctic deep water, that can speed up warming of the whole deep Arctic, change ocean circulation, and affect sea ice, marine life, and how climate models predict future change. Think of it as a room where the heater used to be off, heat sink, and now turns on a little. Over time, the room will get noticeably warmer.
That's it for today's paper. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.